Listen up, Duval. We need to talk about what just happened because this is absolutely massive and the entire NFL landscape just shifted underneath everyone's feet, whether they want to admit it or not. The Jacksonville Jaguars just went into Arrowhead Stadium on Monday Night Football under the bright lights with the entire football world watching and absolutely demolished the Kansas City Chiefs in a statement game that nobody outside of TIAA Bankfield saw coming. This wasn't just a win, this was a complete and total declaration that the Jaguars are back and they're not playing around anymore. The regime change has brought an entirely new energy to this organization, and what we're witnessing right now is nothing short of spectacular. 4-1, let that sink in for a moment. 4-1, the Jaguars are sitting at 4 wins and 1 loss through 5 games, and they just took down the reigning conference powerhouse on their home turf. This is exactly the kind of signature victory that defines seasons and launches teams into legitimate playoff contention. Trevor Lawrence just silenced every single doubter and critic who has been waiting in the shadows hoping to see him fail. This is the quarterback we've been waiting for. The player we always knew was inside him, just waiting to break through. Monday night was his coming out party on the biggest stage possible. When the lights were brightest and the pressure was at its absolute peak, Trevor delivered in every way that matters. He made throws that literally only a handful of quarterbacks in this entire league can make. The arm talent, the decision making under pressure, the poise in the pocket, the leadership rallying his teammates when it mattered most. This was the complete package on full display. Every single criticism about whether he could win the big game just got thrown right out the window, because he just beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in their house. That's not just impressive, that's franchise quarterback stuff right there. But here's where things get absolutely wild and frankly insulting. Nick Shook over at NFL Network just released his quarterback rankings after week 6, and he's got Trevor Lawrence ranked as the 18th best quarterback in the entire National Football League. 18th? Are you kidding me right now? The man just orchestrated a victory over the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. He's leading a team that's 4-1 and looking like the most dangerous squad in the AFC South. And somehow he's sitting in the 4th tier of quarterbacks at number 18 overall. This is the exact kind of disrespect that should have every single Jaguars fan absolutely fired up and ready to prove the doubters wrong. The explanation that comes with this ranking is even more frustrating because it talks about the full Trevor Lawrence experience, with spectacular plays mixed with struggles to maintain offensive operations and decision-making errors. Sure, there were a couple of moments that made our hearts skip a beat, but that's what happens when your quarterback is willing to take calculated risks to put his team in position to win games against elite competition. The chemistry between Trevor Lawrence and head coach Liam Cohen is developing at a pace that nobody could have predicted. This offensive system is absolutely perfect for Trevor's skill set, and you can see him getting more and more comfortable with every single game. The teaching and development that Cohen is providing is exactly what Trevor needed at this point in his career. They're speaking the same language, they're seeing the same things on the field, and the results are showing up on Sunday after Sunday. When you've got a young quarterback who is this talented, being coached by someone who truly understands how to maximize his abilities, you're looking at a combination that can sustain success for years to come. This isn't a flash-in-the-pan situation where everything is going well for a few weeks before reality sets in. This is legitimate growth and development happening right before our eyes. The way this team has come together under the new regime is nothing short of remarkable. Everyone knew the Jaguars were going to be improved this season with fresh leadership and a new approach, but nobody expected them to hit the ground running at this pace. Most teams need time to adjust to new systems, new coaching philosophies, and to new everything. The Jaguars said, forget all that, and came out swinging from week 1. The chemistry on this roster looks like they've been playing together for multiple seasons, not just a handful of games. That speaks volumes about the culture that's being built in Jacksonville right now. When you've got players buying into the system this quickly and executing at this high of a level, you're looking at a special situation that doesn't come around very often. Let's talk about what this victory over Kansas City really means for this franchise moving forward. The Jaguars didn't just win, they won convincingly against a team that has been the standard of excellence in the AFC for years now. That kind of victory builds confidence throughout an entire organization. The players now know they can compete with and beat anyone on their schedule. The coaching staff knows their game plans and preparations are working at the highest level. The front office knows they made the right decisions in bringing in this new regime. And most importantly, the fan base now has legitimate hope that this season can be something truly special. When you can go into hostile territory against an elite opponent and come away victorious, you're announcing to the entire league that you're a legitimate threat that needs to be taken seriously. Trevor Lawrence is elevating his game to exactly where it needs to be for this team to make a deep playoff run. The throws he's making, the reads he's processing, the leadership he's displaying, this is franchise quarterback play through and through. The narrative about whether he can deliver in big moments just got completely rewritten. He stepped up when his team needed him most and delivered a performance that will be remembered for years in Jacksonville. Those spectacular plays that everyone keeps talking about. That's what elite quarterbacks do. They make throws that other quarterbacks can't make. They extend plays with their legs when the pocket breaks down. They find ways to move the chains when the defense thinks they've got them stopped. Yes, there might be a moment here or there where a decision doesn't work out perfectly, but that's part of having a quarterback who is aggressive and willing to attack defenses, rather than playing scared and checking down constantly. The ranking at number 18 is going to serve as perfect bulletin board material for Trevor and this entire Jaguars team. When the national media continues to underestimate and disrespect what's happening in Jacksonville, it only adds fuel to the fire that's already burning. This team has a chip on their shoulder, and they're playing like it every single week. They're not satisfied with being 4-1. They're not satisfied with beating the Chiefs. They want more, and they're going to keep pushing to get better each and every week. That mindset, combined with the talent on this roster and the coaching they're receiving, is a recipe for sustained success throughout this season and beyond. The AFC South is absolutely wide open right now, and the Jaguars are positioning themselves perfectly to take control of the division. Sitting at 4-1 with the kind of momentum they have right now, this team is dangerous. There's another team in the division with the same record, which means these divisional matchups coming later in the season are going to be absolutely crucial. The Jaguars need to keep this momentum rolling and keep stacking wins, because when those head-to-head matchups arrive, they could very well determine who wins the division and earns a home playoff game. That's the kind of position every team wants to be in at this point in the season. Controlling your own destiny with meaningful games still ahead. The entire AFC should be taking notice of what's happening in Jacksonville right now, because this team is for real. They're not pretenders, they're legitimate contenders who just proved they can beat the best teams in the conference. Trevor Lawrence is growing into the quarterback this franchise always believed he could be. Liam Cohen is proving he's one of the brightest offensive minds in football. The roster is talented and deep and playing with incredible chemistry. The defense is making plays when it matters most. Everything is clicking at exactly the right time. And the scary thing is, this team still has room to improve and grow even more as the season progresses. So when people try to tell you that Trevor Lawrence is just the 18th best quarterback in the league, you can point them directly to that Monday Night Football victory over Kansas City. You can show them the 4-1 record. You can highlight the growth and development happening week after week. You can reference the spectacular throws and clutch moments that are becoming routine for number 16. This is a quarterback who is ascending to elite status right before our eyes, and anyone who can't see that simply isn't paying close enough attention. The future is incredibly bright in Jacksonville, and it starts with the franchise quarterback who just proved he can deliver on the biggest stage against the toughest competition. The Jaguars are rolling right now, and there's no reason to think they're going to slow down anytime soon. This team has found its identity, its confidence, and its swagger. They're playing complementary football on all three phases. The coaching is excellent. The execution is crisp. The energy is electric. This is exactly what championship contenders look like in October, and the Jaguars are checking every single box. Trevor Lawrence deserves so much more respect than being ranked 18th among quarterbacks after the season he's putting together. But you know what? Let them sleep on him. Let them doubt. Let them underestimate what's happening in Duval. This team is going to keep proving people wrong every single Sunday. And by the time the playoffs roll around, nobody is going to want to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss any Jaguars coverage. Smash that like button if you believe Trevor Lawrence is being massively disrespected in these rankings, and drop a comment below answering this question. After that huge Monday night win over the Chiefs, do you think Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 quarterback right now? Option A, absolutely. He just proved it on the biggest stage. Option B, not yet, but he's definitely trending in that right direction. Let me know what you think down in the comments.